Dig your heels in. Dig your heels in. Meaning, refuse to change your position. Refuse to change your position. If you dig your heels in, we'll never reach an agreement. If you dig your heels in, we'll never reach an agreement. Cut ties. Cut ties. Meaning, end a relationship. End a relationship. He decided to cut ties with the company. He decided to cut ties with the company. Eat your words. Eat your words. Meaning, admit you were wrong. Admit you were wrong. He had to eat his words after the mistake. He had to eat his words after the mistake. Face the facts. Face the facts. Meaning, accept reality. Accept reality. We need to face the facts. We're out of time. We need to face the facts. We're out of time. Keep a straight face. Keep a straight face. Meaning, not laugh. Not laugh. It was hard to keep a straight face during the joke. It was hard to keep a straight face during the joke. Let your hair down. Let your hair down. Meaning, relax and enjoy yourself. Relax and enjoy yourself. It's the weekend. Time to let your hair down. It's the weekend. Time to let your hair down. Make a mountain out of a molehill. Make a mountain out of a molehill. Meaning, overreact. Overreact. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill. It's a tiny issue. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill. It's a tiny issue. Turn the tables. Turn the tables. Meaning, reverse a situation. Reverse a situation. If we stay focused, we can turn the tables and win this match. If we stay focused, we can turn the tables and win this match. Fly off the handle. Fly off the handle. Meaning, lose your temper suddenly. Lose your temper suddenly. I try not to fly off the handle, even when I'm really frustrated. I try not to fly off the handle, even when I'm really frustrated. Pull the plug. Pull the plug. Meaning, stop or end something. Stop or end something. If the project doesn't show results soon, they might pull the plug on it. If the project doesn't show results soon, they might pull the plug on it. Play second fiddle. Play second fiddle. Meaning, to be less important than someone else. To be less important than someone else. I refuse to play second fiddle to someone with less experience than me. I refuse to play second fiddle to someone with less experience than me. Open a can of worms. Open a can of worms. Meaning, start something that causes trouble. Start something that causes trouble. Asking about that will open a can of worms. Asking about that will open a can of worms. Show your true colours. Show your true colours. Meaning, reveal your real character. Reveal your real character. Don't pretend to be nice. Just show your true colours from the start. Don't pretend to be nice. Just show your true colours from the start. Burst your bubble. Burst your bubble. Meaning, disappoint someone by proving something untrue. Disappoint someone by proving something untrue. I hate to burst your bubble, but that's not how it works. I hate to burst your bubble, but that's not how it works. Wipe the slate clean. Wipe the slate clean. Meaning, forgive and start over. Forgive and start over. Let's wipe the slate clean and move forward. Let's wipe the slate clean and move forward. Help. Pitch in. If we all pitch in, we can finish the project by lunch. If we all pitch in, we can finish the project by lunch. Arrive. Show up. They expect everyone to show up on time. They expect everyone to show up on time. Wait. Hold on. Hold on a second. I'll be right there. Hold on a second. I'll be right there. Cancel. Call off. We had to call off the event due to rain. We had to call off the event due to rain. Continue. Carry on. We should carry on with the plan despite the setback. We should carry on with the plan despite the setback. Leave. Head off. I'm going to head off now. See you tomorrow. I'm going to head off now. See you tomorrow. Search. Look for. I plan to look for something better soon. I plan to look for something better soon. Improve. Brush up on. I need to brush up on my Spanish before the trip. I need to brush up on my Spanish before the trip. Understand. Figure out. I'm trying to figure out what went wrong. I'm trying to figure out what went wrong. Reject. Turn down. I don't want to turn down such a great opportunity. I don't want to turn down such a great opportunity. Tolerate. Put up with. I can't put up with that noise any longer. I can't put up with that noise any longer. Start. Kick off. They plan to kick off the event with a live performance. They plan to kick off the event with a live performance. Delay. Hold up. Something might hold up the delivery if the weather gets worse. Something might hold up the delivery if the weather gets worse. Distribute. hand out. They usually hand out flyers at the entrance of the shop. They usually hand out flyers at the entrance of the shop. Examine. Go over. Let's go over your answers together. Let's go over your answers together. Manage. Deal with. She knows how to deal with difficult clients. She knows how to deal with difficult clients. Remove. Take off. I usually take off my shoes when I enter the house. I usually take off my shoes when I enter the house. Escape. Get away. They managed to get away for the weekend. They managed to get away for the weekend. Explain. Spell out. Can you spell out what you mean by that? Can you spell out what you mean by that? Return. Give back. Don't forget to give back the book. Don't forget to give back the book. Invent. Come up with. We need to come up with a better solution before the meeting. We need to come up with a better solution before the meeting. Prepare. Gear up. We have to gear up for the big presentation next week. We have to gear up for the big presentation next week. Quit. Give up. He doesn't want to give up even when things get tough. He doesn't want to give up even when things get tough. Increase. Go up. Prices tend to go up around the holidays. Prices tend to go up around the holidays. Reduce. Cut down on. I'm trying to cut down on sugar. I'm trying to cut down on sugar. Discover. Find out. I need to find out who's responsible before making a decision. I need to find out who's responsible before making a decision. Recover. Get over. It took him weeks to get over the flu. It took him weeks to get over the flu. End. Wrap up. Let's wrap up the meeting early today. Let's wrap up the meeting early today. Reply. Get back to. I'll get back to you by tomorrow. I'll get back to you by tomorrow. Clean. Wipe down. Please wipe down the table after lunch. Please wipe down the table after lunch. Think. Dwell on. Don't dwell on your mistakes. Don't dwell on your mistakes. Hide. Cover up. He tried to cover up the error. He tried to cover up the error. Solve. Work out. Can we work out a solution together? Can we work out a solution together? Write. Jot down. Jot down your ideas before you forget. jot down your ideas before you forget. Interrupt. Cut in. Don't cut in while someone's speaking. Don't cut in while someone's speaking. Test. Try out. I want to try out this recipe tonight. I want to try out this recipe tonight. Focus. Zero in on. Let's zero in on the key issue. Let's zero in on the key issue. Collect. Pick up. Can you pick up the groceries later? Can you pick up the groceries later? Endure. Stick with. Just stick with it. You're nearly there. Just stick with it. You're nearly there. Contact. Reach out. I'll reach out to them this afternoon. I'll reach out to them this afternoon. Stay. Hang around. You don't need to hang around here. You don't need to hang around here. Relax. Wind down. I need to wind down after that meeting. I need to wind down after that meeting. Visit. Pop in. Feel free to pop in anytime. Feel free to pop in anytime. Admire. Look up to. Many kids look up to athletes and actors. Many kids look up to athletes and actors. Confess. Own up. You should own up to your mistake. You should own up to your mistake. Annoy. Wind up. Don't wind up your sister like that. Don't wind up your sister like that. Confirm. Check with. Let me check with the manager first. Let me check with the manager first. Appear. Pop up. That issue tends to pop up a lot. That issue tends to pop up a lot. Fizzle out. Fizzle out. Meaning, gradually fail or lose energy. Gradually fail or lose energy. I hope our excitement for the project doesn't fizzle out before we even get started. I hope our excitement for the project doesn't fizzle out before we even get started. Jot down. Jot down. Meaning, quickly write something. Quickly write something. Let me jot down your phone number before I forget. Let me jot down your phone number before I forget. Mull over. Mull over. Meaning, think carefully about something. Think carefully about something. I need to mull over this decision before I respond. I need to mull over this decision before I respond. Nod off. Nod off. Meaning, fall asleep unintentionally. Fall asleep unintentionally. I always try to stay awake during meetings, but I sometimes nod off when they're too long. I always try to stay awake during meetings, but I sometimes nod off when they're too long. Pore over, pore over, meaning study something carefully, study something carefully. I need to pore over these documents before making a final decision. I need to pore over these documents before making a final decision. Rope in, meaning persuade someone to join, persuade someone to join. They always try to rope in as many volunteers as possible for the event. They always try to rope in as many volunteers as possible for the event. Worm out, meaning get information from someone by being persistent. Get information from someone by being persistent. She managed to worm out his secret holiday plans. She managed to worm out his secret holiday plans. Zero in on, meaning focus closely on something. Focus closely on something. The detectives need to zero in on the main suspect before making an arrest. The detectives need to zero in on the main suspect before making an arrest. Bank on, meaning rely on something happening. Rely on something happening. You can bank on him being late again. You can bank on him being late again. Plough through, meaning get through something difficult or tedious. Get through something difficult or tedious. I had to plough through hours of paperwork today. I had to plough through hours of paperwork today. Bottle up, meaning suppress emotions. Suppress emotions. It's not healthy to bottle up your emotions for too long. It's not healthy to bottle up your emotions for too long. Drum up, meaning generate interest or support. Generate interest or support. They're trying to drum up business with a big sale. They're trying to drum up business with a big sale. Smooth over, meaning resolve a problem diplomatically. Resolve a problem diplomatically. We need to smooth over the misunderstanding before it gets worse. We need to smooth over the misunderstanding before it gets worse. Sponge off, meaning take advantage of someone financially. Take advantage of someone financially. He always tries to sponge off his friends instead of getting a job. He always tries to sponge off his friends instead of getting a job. Hanker after, meaning strongly desire something. Strongly desire something. She tends to hanker after adventure whenever life starts feeling too routine. She tends to hanker after adventure whenever life starts feeling too routine. Gloss over, meaning avoid discussing something unpleasant. Avoid discussing something unpleasant. They tried to gloss over their money problems, but everyone knew. They tried to gloss over their money problems, but everyone knew. Cobble together, meaning put something together quickly. Put something together quickly. We had to cobble together a presentation last minute. We had to cobble together a presentation last minute. Crack down on, meaning enforce strict measures. Enforce strict measures. The government plans to crack down on tax evasion this year. The government plans to crack down on tax evasion this year. Scrape by, meaning just barely succeed or survive. Just barely succeed or survive. With these rising costs, it's getting harder to scrape by each month. With these rising costs, it's getting harder to scrape by each month. Size up, meaning assess a situation or person. Assess a situation or person. Before making a move, he took a moment to size up his opponent. Before making a move, he took a moment to size up his opponent. Follow through, meaning complete something to the end. Complete something to the end. If you make a promise, you need to follow through with it. If you make a promise, you need to follow through with it. Map out, meaning plan something in detail. Plan something in detail. We need to map out a clear strategy before launching the campaign. We need to map out a clear strategy before launching the campaign. Chip in, meaning contribute money or effort. Contribute money or effort. Everyone agreed to chip in a little money to buy a nice birthday gift for their colleague. Everyone agreed to chip in a little money to buy a nice birthday gift for their colleague. Leaf through, meaning skim through written material. Skim through written material. She likes to leaf through old magazines while waiting at the dentist's office. She likes to leaf through old magazines while waiting at the dentist's office. Mess around, meaning waste time, act playfully. Waste time, act playfully. If you mess around too much at work, you might get in trouble. If you mess around too much at work, you might get in trouble. Vouch for, meaning support or guarantee something. Support or guarantee something. The manager asked if I could vouch for your experience before hiring you. The manager asked if I could vouch for your experience before hiring you. Zone out, zone out, meaning stop paying attention, stop paying attention. I always zone out during long meetings and miss half of what's being said. I always zone out during long meetings and miss half of what's being said. Barge in, meaning enter suddenly and disruptively. Enter suddenly and disruptively. I always tell my little brother not to barge in when I'm studying, but he never listens. I always tell my little brother not to barge in when I'm studying, but he never listens. Dwell on, meaning think about something too much. Think about something too much. She tends to dwell on negative comments even when she gets plenty of praise. She tends to dwell on negative comments even when she gets plenty of praise. Sail through, meaning complete something easily. Complete something easily. With enough preparation, you can sail through the exam without any trouble. With enough preparation, you can sail through the exam without any trouble. Cough up, meaning reluctantly give money or information. Reluctantly give money or information. The landlord made us cough up an extra deposit before we could move in. The landlord made us cough up an extra deposit before we could move in. Ferret out, meaning discover or uncover information. Discover or uncover information. The detective was determined to ferret out the truth, no matter how well it was hidden. The detective was determined to ferret out the truth, no matter how well it was hidden. Muck in, meaning help with a task or work. Help with a task or work. Everyone needs to muck in if we want to finish this project on time. Everyone needs to muck in if we want to finish this project on time. Tinker with, meaning make small adjustments or repairs. Make small adjustments or repairs. He loves to tinker with old cars in his garage on the weekends. He loves to tinker with old cars in his garage on the weekends. Vamp up, meaning improve or make something more exciting. Improve or make something more exciting. We need to vamp up the website to make it look more modern and engaging. We need to vamp up the website to make it look more modern and engaging. Whittle down, meaning reduce in number gradually. Reduce in number gradually. We need to whittle down the list of candidates before the final interviews. We need to whittle down the list of candidates before the final interviews. Toss around, meaning discuss ideas casually. Discuss ideas casually. Let's toss around some ideas before making a final decision. Let's toss around some ideas before making a final decision. Wolf down. Wolf down. Meaning to eat something very quickly and greedily. To eat something very quickly and greedily. I always wolf down my breakfast when I'm running late for work. I always wolf down my breakfast when I'm running late for work. Nip off. Nip off. Meaning to leave somewhere quickly for a short time. To leave somewhere quickly for a short time. I'm going to nip off to the supermarket for a few essentials before we start cooking dinner. I'm going to nip off to the supermarket for a few essentials before we start cooking dinner. Fathom out. Fathom out. Meaning to understand something complicated or mysterious. To understand something complicated or mysterious. I can't fathom out why he would quit such a great job without a backup plan. I can't fathom out why he would quit such a great job without a backup plan. Fob off. Fob off. Meaning to deceive someone or get rid of them by giving an excuse or something of low value. To deceive someone or get rid of them by giving an excuse or something of low value. The salesman tried to fob off the faulty product as brand new, but I wasn't fooled. The salesman tried to fob off the faulty product as brand new, but I wasn't fooled. Chime in. Chime in. Meaning to interrupt or add to a conversation at the right moment. To interrupt or add to a conversation at the right moment. Feel free to chime in if you have any suggestions during the meeting. Feel free to chime in if you have any suggestions during the meeting. Skive off. Skive off. Meaning to avoid work or school without permission. To avoid work or school without permission. He always tries to skive off work whenever there's a big project due. He always tries to skive off work whenever there's a big project due. Fess up. Fess up. Meaning to admit something, especially a mistake or wrongdoing. To admit something, especially a mistake or wrongdoing. You'd better fess up before someone else tells the boss. You'd better fess up before someone else tells the boss. Plod along. Plod along. Meaning to progress slowly and without excitement. To progress slowly and without excitement. We just need to plod along and eventually we'll finish the project. We just need to plod along and eventually we'll finish the project. Chalk up. Chalk up. Meaning to attribute a success or failure to something. To attribute a success or failure to something. You can chalk up his success to years of hard work and dedication. You can chalk up his success to years of hard work and dedication. Act upon. Act upon, meaning to take action based on advice or information. To take action based on advice or information. The manager promised to act upon our suggestions to improve the office. The manager promised to act upon our suggestions to improve the office. Dabble in. Dabble in, meaning to try something casually without serious commitment. To try something casually without serious commitment. She likes to dabble in photography, but she's not a professional. She likes to dabble in photography, but she's not a professional. Pelt down. Pelt down, meaning to describe heavy rain falling quickly. To describe heavy rain falling quickly. The rain started to pelt down just as we left the house. The rain started to pelt down just as we left the house. Suss out. Suss out, meaning to figure something out or investigate a situation. To figure something out or investigate a situation. It took me a while to suss out what was really going on in the office. It took me a while to suss out what was really going on in the office. Press for. Press for, meaning to strongly demand something or push for action. To strongly demand something or push for action. The journalists continue to press for more details about the scandal. The journalists continue to press for more details about the scandal. Level with. Level with, meaning to be honest with someone about something difficult or unpleasant. To be honest with someone about something difficult or unpleasant. You should level with your boss about why the project is delayed. You should level with your boss about why the project is delayed. Dash off. Dash off, meaning to leave quickly or write something in a hurry. To leave quickly or write something in a hurry. She had to dash off to catch her train before it left the station. She had to dash off to catch her train before it left the station. Pan out. Pan out, meaning to develop in a certain way, often successfully or unexpectedly. To develop in a certain way, often successfully or unexpectedly. We had big plans, but they didn't pan out as we hoped. We had big plans, but they didn't pan out as we hoped. Cordon off. Cordon off, meaning to block access to an area for safety or security reasons. To block access to an area for safety or security reasons. The police need to cordon off the area to keep everyone safe. The police need to cordon off the area to keep everyone safe. Pack in. Pack in, meaning to stop doing something or to fit a lot into a short time. to stop doing something, or to fit a lot into a short time. If this job gets any more stressful, I might just pack in and find something else. If this job gets any more stressful, I might just pack in and find something else. I was just about to call you. I was just about to call you. Can I run something by you? Can I run something by you? That's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. No way, that's crazy. No way, that's crazy. Let me sleep on it. Let me sleep on it. I wouldn't count on it. I wouldn't count on it. That makes total sense. That makes total sense. It slipped my mind. It slipped my mind. I'll catch up with you later. I'll catch up with you later. You're reading my mind. You're reading my mind. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming. I'd rather not say. I'd rather not say. I can't put my finger on it. I can't put my finger on it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's a tricky one. That's a tricky one. I'll get back to you on that. I'll get back to you on that. We're on the same page. We're on the same page. Just a heads up. Just a heads up. What's the deal with that? What's the deal with that? I wasn't expecting that at all. I wasn't expecting that at all. I'll have what they're having. I'll have what they're having. What's today's special? What's today's special? I'll take it to go, please. I'll take it to go, please. Could I get that without peppers? Could I get that without peppers? Make it a large, please. Make it a large, please. Do you have dairy-free options? Do you have dairy-free options? I'll grab a quick snack. I'll grab a quick snack. This coffee is way too strong for me. This coffee is way too strong for me. I need something refreshing. I need something refreshing. I'll take whatever's fresh. I'll take whatever's fresh. Can you make it less sweet? Can you make it less sweet? What do you recommend? What do you recommend? I'll pass on dessert, thanks. I'll pass on dessert, thanks. Can I get that extra crispy? Can I get that extra crispy? That smells amazing. That smells amazing. I'll take my coffee black. I'll take my coffee black. Can I get a refill? Can I get a refill? That looks better than I expected. That looks better than I expected. I'll pay for both of us. I'll pay for both of us. Can I get a small portion? Can I get a small portion? I can't find my keys again. I can't find my keys again. I should probably do some laundry. I should probably do some laundry. Let's order a takeaway tonight. Let's order a takeaway tonight. The Wi-Fi is acting up again. The Wi-Fi is acting up again. I need to water the plants. I need to water the plants. I should start cooking soon. I should start cooking soon. I forgot to charge my phone. I forgot to charge my phone. Let's call it an early night. Let's call it an early night. The house is a mess. The house is a mess. I need to take the rubbish out. I need to take the rubbish out. I'm running low on groceries. I'm running low on groceries. I'll make a quick grocery list. I'll make a quick grocery list. Can you remind me later? Can you remind me later? I'll be ready in 5 minutes. I'll be ready in 5 minutes. I need to catch up on sleep. I need to catch up on sleep. The laundry never ends. The laundry never ends. I need a fresh start. I need a fresh start. Let's take a break. Let's take a break. The fridge is completely empty. The fridge is completely empty. I'll do it first thing in the morning. I'll do it first thing in the morning. Let me put you on speaker. Let me put you on speaker. Sorry, I missed your call. Sorry, I missed your call. I'll text you the details. I'll text you the details. Can you send me the link? Can you send me the link? My phone battery is running low. My phone battery is running low. I'll call you when I get there. I'll call you when I get there. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Let's keep this short. Let's keep this short. I'll drop you a message later. I'll drop you a message later. Sorry, I was on another call. Sorry, I was on another call. I'll call you back in 5 minutes. I'll call you back in 5 minutes. Just checking in. How's everything? Just checking in. How's everything? I think I lost my signal. I think I lost my signal. Can we video call instead? Can we video call instead? Let me check my schedule and get back to you. Let me check my schedule and get back to you. I'll forward you the email. I'll forward you the email. My phone's been acting weird lately. My phone's been acting weird lately. I'll be there in a few minutes. I'll be there in a few minutes. Let's reschedule for tomorrow. Let's reschedule for tomorrow. Did you get my message? Did you get my message? Do you have this in a smaller size? Do you have this in a smaller size? I'm just looking, thanks. I'm just looking, thanks. That's a bit over my budget. That's a bit over my budget. Do you offer any discounts? Do you offer any discounts? I'll think about it and come back. I'll think about it and come back. Can I return this if it doesn't fit? Can I return this if it doesn't fit? Do you have this in another colour? Do you have this in another colour? I'll pay by card. I'll pay by card. Can I try this on? Can I try this on? I'll take 2 of these. I'll take 2 of these. Do you have a shopping bag? Do you have a shopping bag? Can I get a gift receipt? Can I get a gift receipt? Does this come with a warranty? Does this come with a warranty? That's a great deal. That's a great deal. Can I get cash back? Can I get cash back? I need a receipt for that. I need a receipt for that. Can you hold this for me? Can you hold this for me? Do you have any special offers? Do you have any special offers? I'll pay the difference. I'll pay the difference. Keep the change. Keep the change. How much is the fare? How much is the fare? Is this the right stop for the city? Is this the right stop for the city? What's the quickest way there? What's the quickest way there? Do I need a ticket in advance? Do I need a ticket in advance? Could you drop me off here? Could you drop me off here? I'll book a ticket online. I'll book a ticket online. How long does the trip take? How long does the trip take? Is there Wi-Fi on this train? Is there Wi-Fi on this train? Can I get a window seat? Can I get a window seat? This bus is always packed. This bus is always packed. Let's get straight to the point. Let's get straight to the point. I'll check my schedule. I'll check my schedule. Let's put that on hold for now. Let's put that on hold for now. I'll send you an update soon. I'll send you an update soon. Let's take a short break. Let's take a short break. I need to finish this report. I need to finish this report. Can you clarify that? Can you clarify that? Let's discuss this later. Let's discuss this later. That's not my department. That's not my department. Let's schedule a follow-up meeting. Let's schedule a follow-up meeting. Let's make some plans. Let's make some plans. That sounds like fun. That sounds like fun. Count me in. Count me in. I had an awesome time. I had an awesome time. Let's do this again sometime. Let's do this again sometime. Just go with the flow. Just go with the flow. That was hilarious. That was hilarious. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. I need a good laugh. I need a good laugh. Let's call it a night. Let's call it a night. It's pouring outside. It's pouring outside. I didn't bring an umbrella. I didn't bring an umbrella. It feels like summer already. It feels like summer already. This weather is unpredictable. This weather is unpredictable. It's way too hot to go outside. It's way too hot to go outside. That was some crazy thunder. That was some crazy thunder. When's the last time it snowed here? When's the last time it snowed here? It's freezing. I need another layer. It's freezing. I need another layer. I hope it clears up later. I hope it clears up later. The sun finally came out. The sun finally came out. I love how fresh the air smells after the rain. I love how fresh the air smells after the rain. The weather has been weird lately. The weather has been weird lately. Let's go for a walk while it's nice out. Let's go for a walk while it's nice out. I wasn't expecting it to be this chilly. I wasn't expecting it to be this chilly. I think a storm is coming. I think a storm is coming. The wind is howling. The wind is howling. It's the perfect day for staying in. It's the perfect day for staying in. This heat is unbearable. This heat is unbearable. I wish it would snow already. I wish it would snow already. It's so humid, I feel sticky. It's so humid, I feel sticky. I think I'm coming down with something. I think I'm coming down with something. My head is pounding. My head is pounding. I need to lie down for a bit. I need to lie down for a bit. I'm not feeling 100% today. I'm not feeling 100% today. I think I need more sleep. I think I need more sleep. My back has been so sore lately. My back has been so sore lately. I should drink more water. I should drink more water. I haven't been eating well. I haven't been eating well. I feel so much better after that nap. I feel so much better after that nap. My allergies are acting up again. My allergies are acting up again. I've had a sore throat all day. I've had a sore throat all day. I should probably take it easy today. I should probably take it easy today. I need to start working out again. I need to start working out again. I think I need new glasses. I think I need new glasses. I should cut back on coffee. I should cut back on coffee. I don't feel like myself today. I don't feel like myself today. My legs are sore from walking too much. My legs are sore from walking too much. I need to book a dentist appointment. I need to book a dentist appointment. My energy levels are so low today. My energy levels are so low today. I think I pulled a muscle. I think I pulled a muscle. Is this the right platform for my train? Is this the right platform for my train? How often does this bus run? How often does this bus run? Do you know where this street is? Do you know where this street is? Is there parking nearby? Is there parking nearby? I think I missed my stop. I think I missed my stop. Can I get a ticket for the next train? Can I get a ticket for the next train? This traffic is terrible. This traffic is terrible. How much is a taxi to the airport? How much is a taxi to the airport? Does this bus go to the city? Does this bus go to the city? I'll just walk. It's not that far. I'll just walk. It's not that far. Do I need exact change for the bus? Do I need exact change for the bus? How long does it take to get there? How long does it take to get there? Is this within walking distance? Is this within walking distance? Let's take a shortcut. Let's take a shortcut. I'll meet you at the station. I'll meet you at the station. Can I use my card for the fare? Can I use my card for the fare? What's the best way to get there? What's the best way to get there? I need directions to the nearest bank. I need directions to the nearest bank. I think my GPS is wrong. I think my GPS is wrong. I should have left earlier. I should have left earlier. Do you accept contactless payments? Do you accept contactless payments? Can I split the bill? Can I split the bill? How much does this cost? How much does this cost? That's way too expensive. That's way too expensive. Is this on sale? Is this on sale? Do you have anything cheaper? Do you have anything cheaper? Can I get a discount on this? Can I get a discount on this? I'm just browsing, thanks. I'm just browsing, thanks. I'll come back later. I'll come back later. Can I pay in instalments? Can I pay in instalments? That's a little out of my budget. That's a little out of my budget. Do you have this in stock? Do you have this in stock? Can I pay with my phone? Can I pay with my phone? This is such a good deal. This is such a good deal. I need to check my balance. I need to check my balance. I think I left my wallet at home. I think I left my wallet at home. That's more than I expected. That's more than I expected. I'll take one of these. I'll take one of these. Do you have wrapping paper? Do you have wrapping paper? I'll need a receipt for this. I'll need a receipt for this. Let's grab a drink later. Let's grab a drink later. Do you have any plans this weekend? Do you have any plans this weekend? I haven't seen you in ages. I haven't seen you in ages. That party was amazing. That party was amazing. We should hang out more often. We should hang out more often. Let's do something fun today. Let's do something fun today. Just let me know when you're free. Just let me know when you're free. I can't make it tonight. I can't make it tonight. What time should I be there? What time should I be there? I'll meet you outside. I'll meet you outside. Let's go somewhere new. Let's go somewhere new. I had such a good time. I had such a good time. We need to plan another trip. We need to plan another trip. Let's make a weekend of it. Let's make a weekend of it. Who else is coming? Who else is coming? Should we dress up? Should we dress up? I'll be fashionably late. I'll be fashionably late. What's the dress code? What's the dress code? Let's get there early for a good spot. Let's get there early for a good spot. I'm starving. Let's grab some food. I'm starving. Let's grab some food. I need to focus. I need to focus. I'll review my notes later. I'll review my notes later. This test is going to be tough. This test is going to be tough. I should have started studying earlier. I should have started studying earlier. I need a break from all this reading. I need a break from all this reading. Can you help me understand this? Can you help me understand this? I think I finally get it. I think I finally get it. I'll finish this chapter first. I'll finish this chapter first. I have too much homework. I have too much homework. I learn best with examples. I learn best with examples. This topic is confusing. This topic is confusing. I'll quiz myself later. I'll quiz myself later. Can you explain that again? Can you explain that again? I need to take better notes. I need to take better notes. This is taking longer than I thought. This is taking longer than I thought. I'll check the answer sheet. I'll check the answer sheet. I should join a study group. I should join a study group. This will be on the test, right? This will be on the test, right? I'll highlight the important parts. I'll highlight the important parts. I need a tutor for this subject. I need a tutor for this subject. The sink is leaking again. The sink is leaking again. I need to take out the rubbish. I need to take out the rubbish. My room is a mess. My room is a mess. We're running low on milk. We're running low on milk. I forgot to lock the door. I forgot to lock the door. Can you grab that for me? Can you grab that for me? I need to call the plumber. I need to call the plumber. My phone charger is missing. My phone charger is missing. I left my jacket outside. I left my jacket outside. Let's rearrange the furniture. Let's rearrange the furniture. The microwave isn't working. The microwave isn't working. I'll clean it up later. I'll clean it up later. Let's set up a weekly cleaning schedule. Let's set up a weekly cleaning schedule. I need to change the light bulb. I need to change the light bulb. Can you help me lift this? Can you help me lift this? Where should I put this? Where should I put this? I should water the plants. I should water the plants. We need more storage space. We need more storage space. Let's donate some old clothes. Let's donate some old clothes. I need to fix that squeaky door. I need to fix that squeaky door. That was so unexpected. That was so unexpected. I can't believe that just happened. I can't believe that just happened. No way, that's amazing. No way, that's amazing. What are the chances? What are the chances? You're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. That was a close call. That was a close call. I had no idea. I had no idea. I completely forgot about that. I completely forgot about that. Let's hope for the best. Let's hope for the best. That sounds too good to be true. That sounds too good to be true. I've got a bad feeling about this. I've got a bad feeling about this. That's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. I never saw that coming. I never saw that coming. I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it. That's a first. That's a first. Well, that's one way to do it. Well, that's one way to do it. I knew this would happen. I knew this would happen. That was easier than I expected. That was easier than I expected. I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know how to feel about this. That explains a lot. That explains a lot. That's not what I expected at all. That's not what I expected at all. I guess there's a first time for everything. I guess there's a first time for everything. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I'm trying to wrap my head around this. I'm trying to wrap my head around this. Let's not jump to conclusions. Let's not jump to conclusions. That's one way to look at it. That's one way to look at it. I was about to say the same thing. I was about to say the same thing. That's a bit of an exaggeration, don't you think? That's a bit of an exaggeration, don't you think? Well, that took an unexpected turn. Well, that took an unexpected turn. Happy. Ecstatic. She was ecstatic when she got the job offer. She was ecstatic when she got the job offer. Sad. Heartbroken. He looked heartbroken after hearing the bad news. He looked heartbroken after hearing the bad news. Angry. Furious. She was furious when they lost her luggage. She was furious when they lost her luggage. Scared. Terrified. I was terrified during the thunderstorm. I was terrified during the thunderstorm. Tired. Exhausted. We were exhausted after the 12-hour hike. We were exhausted after the 12-hour hike. Bored, uninterested. He seemed completely uninterested in the conversation. He seemed completely uninterested in the conversation. Surprised, stunned. I was stunned by how good the movie was. I was stunned by how good the movie was. Calm, serene. The lake looked serene at sunrise. The lake looked serene at sunrise. Nervous, anxious. She felt anxious before the big meeting. She felt anxious before the big meeting. Excited, thrilled. They were thrilled to see their favourite band live. They were thrilled to see their favourite band live. Smart, brilliant. She came up with a brilliant solution. She came up with a brilliant solution. Dumb, brainless. That was a brainless decision. That was a brainless decision. Quick, swift. She gave a swift response to the question. She gave a swift response to the question. Slow, sluggish. His progress was sluggish after the break. His progress was sluggish after the break. Talented, gifted. The child is gifted in both art and music. The child is gifted in both art and music. Hard working, diligent. She's a diligent student who always meets deadlines. She's a diligent student who always meets deadlines. Lazy, idle. She remained idle while others were working. She remained idle while others were working. Clever, ingenious. That was an ingenious way to fix the problem. That was an ingenious way to fix the problem. Confused, perplexed. I was perplexed by the complex instructions. I was perplexed by the complex instructions. Focused, attentive. He remained attentive throughout the lecture. He remained attentive throughout the lecture. Beautiful, stunning. She looked stunning in that red dress. She looked stunning in that red dress. Ugly, unattractive. The design is outdated and unattractive. The design is outdated and unattractive. Pretty, attractive. She looked attractive in that dress. She looked attractive in that dress. Cute, adorable. Look at that adorable puppy. Look at that adorable puppy. Fat, overweight. The doctor said he was slightly overweight. The doctor said he was slightly overweight. Skinny, slim. She has a slim figure. She has a slim figure. Tall, Towering. He's a towering presence on the basketball court. He's a towering presence on the basketball court. Short. Petite. She's quite petite, but very strong. She's quite petite, but very strong. Neat. Polished. His appearance was polished and professional. His appearance was polished and professional. Messy. Dishevelled. He looked dishevelled after the long flight. He looked dishevelled after the long flight. Nice. Charming. He's a charming host who makes everyone feel welcome. He's a charming host who makes everyone feel welcome. Mean. Cruel. She made a cruel comment about his appearance. She made a cruel comment about his appearance. Funny. Hilarious. That stand-up show was hilarious. That stand-up show was hilarious. Serious. Stern. His expression was stern during the interview. His expression was stern during the interview. Kind. Compassionate. She's a compassionate nurse who really cares. She's a compassionate nurse who really cares. Rude. Impolite. It was impolite to interrupt her mid-sentence. It was impolite to interrupt her mid-sentence. Friendly. Approachable. She's very approachable and easy to talk to. She's very approachable and easy to talk to. Shy. Timid. The dog was timid around new people. The dog was timid around new people. Helpful. Supportive. He was incredibly supportive during my recovery. He was incredibly supportive during my recovery. Loud. Boisterous. The boisterous crowd cheered all night. The boisterous crowd cheered all night. Big. Massive. They live in a massive house near the hills. They live in a massive house near the hills. Small. Tiny. She found a tiny frog in the garden. She found a tiny frog in the garden. Long. Lengthy. They had a lengthy discussion about politics. They had a lengthy discussion about politics. Huge. Enormous. The elephant's ears were absolutely enormous. The elephant's ears were absolutely enormous. Wide. Broad. The road was broad enough for 2 trucks. The road was broad enough for 2 trucks. Narrow. Tight. The tight hallway made it hard to carry the furniture through. The tight hallway made it hard to carry the furniture through. Thick. Dense. The fog was dense and hard to see through. The fog was dense and hard to see through. Flat, level. Make sure the table is on a level surface. Make sure the table is on a level surface. Heavy, weighty. He struggled to lift the weighty box onto the shelf. He struggled to lift the weighty box onto the shelf. Light, lightweight. This suitcase is surprisingly lightweight. This suitcase is surprisingly lightweight. Early, prompt. He's always prompt for his meetings. He's always prompt for his meetings. Late, delayed. The train was delayed due to weather. The train was delayed due to weather. Fast, rapid. She made rapid progress. She made rapid progress. Temporary, short-lived. Their excitement was short-lived when the rain started. Their excitement was short-lived when the rain started. Old, ancient. They visited an ancient castle. They visited an ancient castle. Young, youthful. She has a very youthful energy. She has a very youthful energy. Recent, current. That's the current version of the software. That's the current version of the software. New, fresh. They brought in fresh ideas. They brought in fresh ideas. Modern, contemporary. The museum has a contemporary design. The museum has a contemporary design. Busy, hectic. It's been a hectic day. It's been a hectic day. Good, excellent. She did an excellent job. She did an excellent job. Bad, terrible. The service was terrible. The service was terrible. Clean, spotless. The kitchen was spotless. The kitchen was spotless. Dirty, filthy. The floor was absolutely filthy. The floor was absolutely filthy. Strong, powerful. He gave a powerful performance. He gave a powerful performance. Weak, frail. She felt frail after the illness. She felt frail after the illness. Easy, effortless. His singing seemed effortless. His singing seemed effortless. Hard, challenging. It was a challenging puzzle. It was a challenging puzzle. Cheap, inexpensive. These shoes were inexpensive but durable. These shoes were inexpensive but durable. Expensive, pricey. That restaurant is quite pricey. That restaurant is quite pricey. Tasty, delicious. The cake was absolutely delicious. The cake was absolutely delicious. Gross. Revolting. That smell was revolting. That smell was revolting. Sweet. Sugary. These drinks are too sugary. These drinks are too sugary. Sour. Tangy. I love the tangy flavour of lime. I love the tangy flavour of lime. Spicy. Fiery. He loves fiery curries. He loves fiery curries. Salty. Briny. The soup had a briny aftertaste. The soup had a briny aftertaste. Soft. Cushiony. The mattress is super cushiony. The mattress is super cushiony. Rough. Gritty. The sandpaper felt gritty. The sandpaper felt gritty. Cold. Chilly. It's a bit chilly this morning. It's a bit chilly this morning. Hot. Scorching. The sun was scorching by midday. The sun was scorching by midday. Common. Widespread. That belief is widespread in this area. That belief is widespread in this area. Rare. Uncommon. It's an uncommon species of butterfly. It's an uncommon species of butterfly. Easygoing. Laid back. He's a laid back kind of guy. He's a laid back kind of guy. Strict. Rigid. The rules were rigid and outdated. The rules were rigid and outdated. Basic. Fundamental. You need a fundamental understanding of grammar. You need a fundamental understanding of grammar. Advanced. Sophisticated. They use a sophisticated system of tracking. They use a sophisticated system of tracking. Useful. Practical. That tip was very practical. That tip was very practical. Useless. Pointless. Fighting about it is pointless now. Fighting about it is pointless now. Real. Authentic. This is an authentic Italian recipe. This is an authentic Italian recipe. Fake. Counterfeit. They found a counterfeit passport. They found a counterfeit passport. Normal. Typical. It was a typical Monday, slow and uneventful. It was a typical Monday, slow and uneventful. Weird. Unusual. That was an unusual reaction to good news. That was an unusual reaction to good news. Important. Crucial. It's crucial that you submit the form today. It's crucial that you submit the form today. Dangerous. Hazardous. Those chemicals can be hazardous to your health. Those chemicals can be hazardous to your health. Safe, secure. This building feels very secure at night. This building feels very secure at night. Smelly, pungent. The cheese had a pungent aroma. The cheese had a pungent aroma. Clear, transparent. She gave a transparent explanation of the policy. She gave a transparent explanation of the policy. Awkward, uncomfortable. The silence became increasingly uncomfortable. The silence became increasingly uncomfortable. Annoying, irritating. That buzzing sound is so irritating. That buzzing sound is so irritating. Broken, damaged. The package arrived slightly damaged. The package arrived slightly damaged. I couldn't find my keys this morning. I couldn't find my keys this morning. She couldn't stop laughing at the joke. She couldn't stop laughing at the joke. We couldn't believe how beautiful the sunset was. We couldn't believe how beautiful the sunset was. He couldn't come to the meeting because he was sick. He couldn't come to the meeting because he was sick. They couldn't finish the project on time. They couldn't finish the project on time. I couldn't hear what you said because of the noise. I couldn't hear what you said because of the noise. She couldn't understand the problem. She couldn't understand the problem. He couldn't resist eating another slice of cake. He couldn't resist eating another slice of cake. We couldn't go to the party because of the rain. We couldn't go to the party because of the rain. I couldn't stay awake during the long movie. I couldn't stay awake during the long movie. She couldn't decide which dress to buy. She couldn't decide which dress to buy. He couldn't remember where he parked the car. He couldn't remember where he parked the car. They couldn't agree on where to have dinner. They couldn't agree on where to have dinner. I couldn't open the jar no matter how hard I tried. I couldn't open the jar no matter how hard I tried. She couldn't believe her eyes when she saw the surprise. She couldn't believe her eyes when she saw the surprise. We couldn't find a taxi late at night. We couldn't find a taxi late at night. He couldn't stop thinking about the exam results. He couldn't stop thinking about the exam results. They couldn't afford to buy the expensive house. They couldn't afford to buy the expensive house. I couldn't explain why I felt so nervous. I couldn't explain why I felt so nervous. She couldn't wait to share the good news with her family. She couldn't wait to share the good news with her family. He couldn't swim when he was younger, but now he can. He couldn't swim when he was younger, but now he can. We couldn't go hiking because the trail was closed. We couldn't go hiking because the trail was closed. I couldn't solve the puzzle without help. I couldn't solve the puzzle without help. She couldn't hide her excitement about the trip. She couldn't hide her excitement about the trip. He couldn't believe how fast time flew by. He couldn't believe how fast time flew by. They couldn't find a solution to the problem. They couldn't find a solution to the problem. I couldn't reach the top shelf without a stool. I couldn't reach the top shelf without a stool. She couldn't stop her dog from barking at the postman. She couldn't stop her dog from barking at the postman. We couldn't attend the concert because it was sold out. We couldn't attend the concert because it was sold out. He couldn't eat the spicy food. It was too hot. He couldn't eat the spicy food. It was too hot. They couldn't figure out how to fix the broken machine. They couldn't figure out how to fix the broken machine. I couldn't join the class because I was late. I couldn't join the class because I was late. She couldn't hold back her tears during the emotional scene. She couldn't hold back her tears during the emotional scene. He couldn't believe how cold it was outside. He couldn't believe how cold it was outside. We couldn't book a hotel room because everything was full. We couldn't book a hotel room because everything was full. I couldn't resist buying the book when I saw it on sale. I couldn't resist buying the book when I saw it on sale. She couldn't stop smiling after hearing the compliment. She couldn't stop smiling after hearing the compliment. He couldn't keep up with the fast pace of the runner. He couldn't keep up with the fast pace of the runner. They couldn't move the heavy table by themselves. They couldn't move the heavy table by themselves. I couldn't sleep because of the loud thunderstorm. I couldn't sleep because of the loud thunderstorm. She couldn't finish the novel because it was too boring. She couldn't finish the novel because it was too boring. He couldn't understand the instructions in the manual. He couldn't understand the instructions in the manual. We couldn't cross the bridge because it was under repair. We couldn't cross the bridge because it was under repair. I couldn't stop thinking about the funny story you told. I couldn't stop thinking about the funny story you told. She couldn't find her phone after searching everywhere. She couldn't find her phone after searching everywhere. He couldn't lift the box because it was too heavy. He couldn't lift the box because it was too heavy. They couldn't trust him after what he did. They couldn't trust him after what he did. I couldn't help but laugh at the silly mistake. I couldn't help but laugh at the silly mistake. She couldn't hear the announcement over the loud music. She couldn't hear the announcement over the loud music. He couldn't make it to the party, but he sent a gift. He couldn't make it to the party, but he sent a gift. You shouldn't eat so much junk food. You shouldn't eat so much junk food. He shouldn't drive so fast in bad weather. He shouldn't drive so fast in bad weather. She shouldn't stay up so late every night. She shouldn't stay up so late every night. They shouldn't ignore the instructions on the package. They shouldn't ignore the instructions on the package. I shouldn't have forgotten my umbrella today. I shouldn't have forgotten my umbrella today. You shouldn't argue with your boss like that. You shouldn't argue with your boss like that. He shouldn't speak to his parents so rudely. He shouldn't speak to his parents so rudely. She shouldn't waste her time on unimportant things. She shouldn't waste her time on unimportant things. We shouldn't park here. It's a no parking zone. We shouldn't park here. It's a no parking zone. They shouldn't skip breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day. They shouldn't skip breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day. I shouldn't have been so harsh with my friend. I shouldn't have been so harsh with my friend. You shouldn't trust strangers with personal information. You shouldn't trust strangers with personal information. He shouldn't neglect his health like this. He shouldn't neglect his health like this. She shouldn't spend all her money on clothes. She shouldn't spend all her money on clothes. We shouldn't leave the house unlocked when we go out. We shouldn't leave the house unlocked when we go out. They shouldn't be so careless with their assignments. They shouldn't be so careless with their assignments. I shouldn't have lied to you. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have lied to you. I'm sorry. You shouldn't use your phone while driving. You shouldn't use your phone while driving. He shouldn't sit in front of the computer for hours without a break. He shouldn't sit in front of the computer for hours without a break. She shouldn't carry such a heavy bag by herself. She shouldn't carry such a heavy bag by herself. We shouldn't miss this opportunity to learn something new. We shouldn't miss this opportunity to learn something new. They shouldn't talk loudly in the library. They shouldn't talk loudly in the library. I shouldn't have eaten that second piece of cake. I shouldn't have eaten that second piece of cake. You shouldn't interrupt people when they're speaking. You shouldn't interrupt people when they're speaking. He shouldn't forget to call his mum on her birthday. He shouldn't forget to call his mum on her birthday. She shouldn't walk home alone late at night. She shouldn't walk home alone late at night. We shouldn't postpone our work until the last minute. We shouldn't postpone our work until the last minute. They shouldn't rely on luck to pass the test. They shouldn't rely on luck to pass the test. I shouldn't have left my phone at home. I shouldn't have left my phone at home. You shouldn't spend so much time on social media. You shouldn't spend so much time on social media. He shouldn't make promises he can't keep. He shouldn't make promises he can't keep. She shouldn't gossip about her co-workers. She shouldn't gossip about her co-workers. We shouldn't judge people based on their appearance. We shouldn't judge people based on their appearance. They shouldn't touch wild animals in the forest. They shouldn't touch wild animals in the forest. I shouldn't have spoken without thinking first. I shouldn't have spoken without thinking first. You shouldn't waste water while brushing your teeth. You shouldn't waste water while brushing your teeth. He shouldn't let fear stop him from trying new things. He shouldn't let fear stop him from trying new things. She shouldn't wear high heels if her feet hurt. She shouldn't wear high heels if her feet hurt. We shouldn't forget to thank the hosts before leaving. We shouldn't forget to thank the hosts before leaving. They shouldn't ignore the warning signs on the road. They shouldn't ignore the warning signs on the road. I shouldn't leave my work unfinished. I shouldn't leave my work unfinished. You shouldn't skip your workout routine so often. You shouldn't skip your workout routine so often. He shouldn't drink coffee late at night if he wants to sleep. He shouldn't drink coffee late at night if he wants to sleep. She shouldn't walk barefoot on sharp rocks. She shouldn't walk barefoot on sharp rocks. We shouldn't take things for granted. We shouldn't take things for granted. They shouldn't blame others for their own mistakes. They shouldn't blame others for their own mistakes. I shouldn't have spent so much money on unnecessary things. I shouldn't have spent so much money on unnecessary things. You shouldn't rush through important decisions. You shouldn't rush through important decisions. He shouldn't borrow things if he doesn't plan to return them. He shouldn't borrow things if he doesn't plan to return them. She shouldn't let negative comments affect her confidence. She shouldn't let negative comments affect her confidence. I wouldn't wear that jacket in the rain. It's not waterproof. I wouldn't wear that jacket in the rain. It's not waterproof. He wouldn't help us no matter how much we asked. He wouldn't help us no matter how much we asked. She wouldn't listen to my advice about saving money. She wouldn't listen to my advice about saving money. They wouldn't agree to the terms of the contract. They wouldn't agree to the terms of the contract. We wouldn't have finished on time without your help. We wouldn't have finished on time without your help. The car wouldn't start because the battery was dead. The car wouldn't start because the battery was dead. I wouldn't recommend that restaurant. The food wasn't good. I wouldn't recommend that restaurant. The food wasn't good. He wouldn't apologize even though he was wrong. He wouldn't apologize even though he was wrong. She wouldn't let her dog near the cat. She wouldn't let her dog near the cat. They wouldn't believe me when I told them the truth. They wouldn't believe me when I told them the truth. I wouldn't have guessed the answer without a clue. I wouldn't have guessed the answer without a clue. He wouldn't stop talking during the movie. He wouldn't stop talking during the movie. She wouldn't come to the party because she had other plans. She wouldn't come to the party because she had other plans. We wouldn't go hiking because it was too cold. We wouldn't go hiking because it was too cold. They wouldn't allow us to enter the building without an ID. They wouldn't allow us to enter the building without an ID. I wouldn't leave my phone unattended in a public place. I wouldn't leave my phone unattended in a public place. He wouldn't eat the vegetables, no matter how they were cooked. He wouldn't eat the vegetables, no matter how they were cooked. She wouldn't give up until she solved the puzzle. She wouldn't give up until she solved the puzzle. They wouldn't stop arguing about whose turn it was. They wouldn't stop arguing about whose turn it was. We wouldn't have succeeded without proper planning. We wouldn't have succeeded without proper planning. I wouldn't choose that colour for the walls. It's too dark. I wouldn't choose that colour for the walls. It's too dark. He wouldn't admit that he made a mistake. He wouldn't admit that he made a mistake. She wouldn't go out without putting on makeup. She wouldn't go out without putting on makeup. They wouldn't lend us their car for the weekend. They wouldn't lend us their car for the weekend. We wouldn't believe the story if we hadn't seen it ourselves. We wouldn't believe the story if we hadn't seen it ourselves. I wouldn't waste time on something so trivial. I wouldn't waste time on something so trivial. He wouldn't stay longer because he had work to do. He wouldn't stay longer because he had work to do. She wouldn't tell me her secret, no matter how much I begged. She wouldn't tell me her secret, no matter how much I begged. They wouldn't allow children in the restricted area. They wouldn't allow children in the restricted area. We wouldn't miss the show for anything in the world. We wouldn't miss the show for anything in the world. I wouldn't wear those shoes. They look uncomfortable. I wouldn't wear those shoes. They look uncomfortable. He wouldn't let anyone borrow his favourite book. He wouldn't let anyone borrow his favourite book. She wouldn't join us for dinner because she wasn't feeling well. She wouldn't join us for dinner because she wasn't feeling well. They wouldn't move out of their house despite the high rent. They wouldn't move out of their house despite the high rent. We wouldn't have known about the event if you hadn't told us. We wouldn't have known about the event if you hadn't told us. I wouldn't buy that car. It's too old and unreliable. I wouldn't buy that car. It's too old and unreliable. He wouldn't take no for an answer. He wouldn't take no for an answer. She wouldn't stop complaining about the service. She wouldn't stop complaining about the service. They wouldn't approve the project without more details. They wouldn't approve the project without more details. We wouldn't travel to that country without doing some research first. We wouldn't travel to that country without doing some research first. I wouldn't trust him with such an important task. I wouldn't trust him with such an important task. He wouldn't eat the dessert because he was on a diet. He wouldn't eat the dessert because he was on a diet. She wouldn't forgive him for what he had done. She wouldn't forgive him for what he had done. They wouldn't speak to each other after the argument. They wouldn't speak to each other after the argument. We wouldn't leave the house without locking the doors. We wouldn't leave the house without locking the doors. I wouldn't have missed your wedding for anything. I wouldn't have missed your wedding for anything. He wouldn't return my call even though I left him a message. He wouldn't return my call even though I left him a message. She wouldn't let her kids play video games during the week. She wouldn't let her kids play video games during the week. They wouldn't believe the news unless it was confirmed. They wouldn't believe the news unless it was confirmed. We wouldn't risk going outside during the storm. We wouldn't risk going outside during the storm. Have a break. Have a break. I usually have a break at 10 a.m. I usually have a break at 10 a.m. Have a chat. Have a chat. Let's have a chat after the meeting. Let's have a chat after the meeting. Have a good time. Have a good time. I hope you have a good time at the party. I hope you have a good time at the party. Have a look. Have a look. Can you have a look at this report? Can you have a look at this report? Have a rest. Have a rest. You should have a rest if you're feeling tired. You should have a rest if you're feeling tired. Have a drink. Have a drink. We should have a drink to celebrate. We should have a drink to celebrate. Have an idea. Have an idea. I have an idea for the project. I have an idea for the project. Have a word. Have a word. I'd like to have a word with you about the proposal. I'd like to have a word with you about the proposal. Have a meal. Have a meal. Come and have a meal with us tonight. Come and have a meal with us tonight. Have fun. Have fun. Make sure to have fun on your holiday. Make sure to have fun on your holiday. Make a decision. Make a decision. She needs to make a decision by tomorrow. She needs to make a decision by tomorrow. Make an effort. Make an effort. You need to make an effort to improve your grades. You need to make an effort to improve your grades. Make a mistake. Make a mistake. If I make a mistake, someone can cover up for me. If I make a mistake, someone can cover up for me. Make progress. Make progress. He needs to focus more if he wants to make progress. He needs to focus more if he wants to make progress. Make an impression. Make an impression. She really knows how to make an impression during interviews. She really knows how to make an impression during interviews. Make a promise. Make a promise. It's important not to make a promise you can't keep. It's important not to make a promise you can't keep. Make a plan. Make a plan. We should make a plan for the weekend. We should make a plan for the weekend. Make a suggestion. Make a suggestion. Can I make a suggestion for the event? Can I make a suggestion for the event? Make money. Make money. He started a small business to make money on the side. He started a small business to make money on the side. Make time. Make time. You need to make time for yourself. You need to make time for yourself. Take a break. Take a break. I need to take a break after working for hours. I need to take a break after working for hours. Take care. Take care. Please take care of the documents. Please take care of the documents. Take responsibility. Take responsibility. She needs to take responsibility for her actions. She needs to take responsibility for her actions. Take a chance. Take a chance. Why not take a chance and apply for the job? Why not take a chance and apply for the job? Take control. Take control. He decided to take control of the situation. He decided to take control of the situation. Take an exam. Take an exam. I have to take an exam next week. I have to take an exam next week. Take notes. Take notes. Don't forget to take notes during the meeting. Don't forget to take notes during the meeting. Take a seat. Take a seat. Please take a seat and wait for your turn. Please take a seat and wait for your turn. Take time. Take time. Take time to enjoy the simple things in life. Take time to enjoy the simple things in life. Take a photo. Take a photo. Can you take a photo of us? Can you take a photo of us? Get a job. Get a job. He's hoping to get a job in marketing. He's hoping to get a job in marketing. Get married. Get married. They're planning to get married next spring. They're planning to get married next spring. Get ready. Get ready. I need to get ready for the party tonight. I need to get ready for the party tonight. Get sick. Get sick. He tends to get sick when the weather changes. He tends to get sick when the weather changes. Get lost. Get lost. Tourists often get lost and stray into dangerous areas. Tourists often get lost and stray into dangerous areas. Get permission. Get permission. You need to get permission to enter that area. You need to get permission to enter that area. Get a chance. Get a chance. I hope I get a chance to speak with him. I hope I get a chance to speak with him. Get along. Get along. Do you and your co-workers get along well? Do you and your co-workers get along well? Get paid. Get paid. You will get paid at the end of the month. You will get paid at the end of the month. Get upset. Get upset. Don't get upset over small things. Don't get upset over small things. Do the dishes. Do the dishes. I'll do the dishes after dinner. I'll do the dishes after dinner. Do anything. Do anything. It's too late to do anything about it now. It's too late to do anything about it now. Do business. Do business. We do business with several international clients. We do business with several international clients. Do a favor. Do a favor. She asked him to do a favor and pick up her package. She asked him to do a favor and pick up her package. Do your best. Do your best. Just do your best on the test. Just do your best on the test. Do damage. Do damage. The storm is expected to do damage to the coastal areas. The storm is expected to do damage to the coastal areas. Do an experiment. Do an experiment. We're going to do an experiment in the garden. We're going to do an experiment in the garden. Do exercise. Do exercise. It's important to do exercise regularly. It's important to do exercise regularly. Do your hair. Do your hair. You should do your hair before the photo shoot. You should do your hair before the photo shoot. Do well. Do well. He hopes to do well in his new job. He hopes to do well in his new job. Give advice. Give advice. It's important to give advice based on experience. It's important to give advice based on experience. Give a speech. Give a speech. He had to give a speech at the wedding. He had to give a speech at the wedding. Give permission. Give permission. The teacher decided to give permission for the students to leave early. The teacher decided to give permission for the students to leave early. Give a hand. Give a hand. I'm happy to give a hand whenever you need help. I'm happy to give a hand whenever you need help. Give an example. Give an example. Can you give an example of how to use this word in a sentence? Can you give an example of how to use this word in a sentence? Give attention. Give attention. It's important to give attention to the details in your work. It's important to give attention to the details in your work. Give information. Give information. The guide will give information about the local attractions. The guide will give information about the local attractions. Give help. Give help. She was always willing to give help to those in need. She was always willing to give help to those in need. Give credit. Give credit. You should give credit where it's due. You should give credit where it's due. Give an explanation. Give an explanation. He had to give an explanation for his absence. He had to give an explanation for his absence. Go shopping. Go shopping. We're planning to go shopping this weekend. We're planning to go shopping this weekend. Go for a walk. Go for a walk. I like to go for a walk every evening. I like to go for a walk every evening. Go crazy. Go crazy. She will go crazy if she doesn't get some time to relax. She will go crazy if she doesn't get some time to relax. Go missing. Go missing. Important documents tend to go missing during a move. Important documents tend to go missing during a move. Go online. Go online. You can go online to check your bank account. You can go online to check your bank account. Go wrong. Go wrong. If anything is to go wrong, we need a backup plan. If anything is to go wrong, we need a backup plan. Go running. Go running. I like to go running in the morning to start my day. I like to go running in the morning to start my day. Go on holiday. Go on holiday. We plan to go on holiday to the beach next month. We plan to go on holiday to the beach next month. Go bad. Go bad. The milk will go bad if you leave it out too long. The milk will go bad if you leave it out too long. Go through. Go through. She had to go through a lot of paperwork to finalize the loan. She had to go through a lot of paperwork to finalize the loan. Keep a promise. Keep a promise. He always tries to keep a promise, no matter how difficult. He always tries to keep a promise, no matter how difficult. Keep in touch. Keep in touch. Let's keep in touch after graduation. Let's keep in touch after graduation. Keep a secret. Keep a secret. Can you keep a secret? Can you keep a secret? Keep calm. Keep calm. Try to keep calm during the presentation. Try to keep calm during the presentation. Keep an eye on. Keep an eye on. Can you keep an eye on my bag while I go to the bathroom? Can you keep an eye on my bag while I go to the bathroom? Keep a diary. Keep a diary. I'd like to keep a diary to record my thoughts and experiences. I'd like to keep a diary to record my thoughts and experiences. Keep control. Keep control. It's essential to keep control of your emotions during stressful situations. It's essential to keep control of your emotions during stressful situations. Keep in mind. Keep in mind. Keep in mind that it might rain tomorrow. Keep in mind that it might rain tomorrow. Keep quiet. Keep quiet. Please keep quiet during the movie. Please keep quiet during the movie. Keep track of. Keep track of. I need to keep track of my expenses this month. I need to keep track of my expenses this month. Pay attention. Pay attention. Please pay attention to the instructions. Please pay attention to the instructions. Pay a visit. Pay a visit. I'm going to pay a visit to my grandmother this weekend. I'm going to pay a visit to my grandmother this weekend. Pay a fine. Pay a fine. He had to pay a fine for parking illegally. He had to pay a fine for parking illegally. Pay interest. Pay interest. You have to pay interest on the loan. You have to pay interest on the loan. Pay the price. Pay the price. If you break the rules, you'll have to pay the price. If you break the rules, you'll have to pay the price. Pay respect. Pay respect. We went to pay respect to the veterans at the memorial service. We went to pay respect to the veterans at the memorial service. Pay a compliment. Pay a compliment. It's nice to pay a compliment when someone looks great. It's nice to pay a compliment when someone looks great. Pay in cash. Pay in cash. Do you prefer to pay in cash or by card? Do you prefer to pay in cash or by card? Pay in full. Pay in full. They decided to pay in full to avoid any interest charges. They decided to pay in full to avoid any interest charges. Pay in advance. Pay in advance. You need to pay in advance to secure your reservation. You need to pay in advance to secure your reservation. Set a goal. Set a goal. It's important to set a goal before starting a project. It's important to set a goal before starting a project. Set an example. Set an example. Teachers should set an example for their students to follow. Teachers should set an example for their students to follow. Set a deadline. Set a deadline. We need to set a deadline for this project. We need to set a deadline for this project. Set the table. Set the table. Can you help me set the table for dinner? Can you help me set the table for dinner? Set a trap. Set a trap. They set a trap to catch the mouse. They set a trap to catch the mouse. Set the alarm. Set the alarm. I always set the alarm for 6 a.m. I always set the alarm for 6 a.m. Set a record. Set a record. She set a record for the fastest time in the marathon. She set a record for the fastest time in the marathon. Set a standard. Set a standard. The company aims to set a standard for quality in the industry. The company aims to set a standard for quality in the industry. Set the stage. Set the stage. Her hard work set the stage for the company's success. Her hard work set the stage for the company's success. Set a limit. Set a limit. You should set a limit on how much you spend. You should set a limit on how much you spend. Abnegation. Abnegation. Meaning, the act of renouncing or rejecting something. Self-denial. The act of renouncing or rejecting something. Self-denial. Her abnegation of personal desires was admirable, though difficult. Her abnegation of personal desires was admirable, though difficult. Acrimonious. Acrimonious. Meaning, bitter and angry, especially in speech or debate. Bitter and angry, especially in speech or debate. The discussion turned acrimonious when politics were brought up. The discussion turned acrimonious when politics were brought up. Ameliorate. Ameliorate. Meaning, to make something bad or unsatisfactory better. To make something bad or unsatisfactory better. The new law was designed to ameliorate the living conditions of the working poor. The new law was designed to ameliorate the living conditions of the working poor. Anachronism. Anachronism. Meaning, a person or thing that is chronologically out of place. A person or thing that is chronologically out of place. The typewriter is an anachronism in the age of computers. The typewriter is an anachronism in the age of computers. Antediluvian. Antediluvian. Meaning, ridiculously old-fashioned or outdated. Ridiculously old-fashioned or outdated. His antediluvian views shocked his younger colleagues. His antediluvian views shocked his younger colleagues. Approbation. Approbation. Meaning, approval or praise, often official or formal. Approval or praise, often official or formal. The plan received the approbation of the board of directors. The plan received the approbation of the board of directors. Ardent. Ardent. Meaning, enthusiastic or passionate. Enthusiastic or passionate. He was an ardent supporter of the arts, frequently attending gallery openings and performances. He was an ardent supporter of the arts, frequently attending gallery openings and performances. Cacophony. Cacophony. Meaning, a harsh, discordant mixture of sounds. A harsh, discordant mixture of sounds. The cacophony of horns and engines made it impossible to concentrate. The cacophony of horns and engines made it impossible to concentrate. Capitulate. Capitulate. Meaning, to surrender or cease resisting. To surrender or cease resisting. She refused to capitulate despite the mounting pressure. She refused to capitulate despite the mounting pressure. Celerity. Celerity. Meaning, swiftness of movement. Swiftness of movement. The celerity with which the team completed the project was impressive. The celerity with which the team completed the project was impressive. Circumspect. Circumspect. Meaning, wary and unwilling to take risks. Cautious. Wary and unwilling to take risks. Cautious. He was circumspect in his financial dealings, always considering the potential risks. He was circumspect in his financial dealings, always considering the potential risks. Clandestine. Clandestine. Meaning, kept secret or done secretively, especially because it is illicit. Kept secret or done secretively, especially because it is illicit. Their clandestine meetings were a closely guarded secret. Their clandestine meetings were a closely guarded secret. Conundrum. Conundrum. Meaning, a confusing and difficult problem or question. A confusing and difficult problem or question. The new policy presented a conundrum for the administration. The new policy presented a conundrum for the administration. Debilitate. Debilitate. Meaning, to make someone or something weak. To make someone or something weak. The prolonged illness began to debilitate him. The prolonged illness began to debilitate him. Diatribe. Diatribe. Meaning, a forceful and bitter verbal attack against someone or something. A forceful and bitter verbal attack against someone or something. His diatribe against the new policy lasted for hours. His diatribe against the new policy lasted for hours. Epiphany. Epiphany, meaning a moment of sudden and great revelation or realization. A moment of sudden and great revelation or realization. She had an epiphany that changed the course of her life while hiking in the mountains. She had an epiphany that changed the course of her life while hiking in the mountains. Equanimity. Equanimity, meaning mental calmness, composure, and evenness of temper, especially in a difficult situation. Mental calmness, composure, and evenness of temper, especially in a difficult situation. She accepted both good and bad news with equanimity. She accepted both good and bad news with equanimity. Esoteric. Esoteric, meaning intended for or likely to be understood by only a small number of people with a specialized knowledge. Intended for or likely to be understood by only a small number of people with a specialized knowledge. The professor's lecture on quantum mechanics was so esoteric that few students understood it. The professor's lecture on quantum mechanics was so esoteric that few students understood it. Fastidious. Fastidious, meaning very attentive to and concerned about accuracy and detail. Very attentive to and concerned about accuracy and detail. She was fastidious about keeping her house clean and organised. She was fastidious about keeping her house clean and organised. Furtive. Furtive, meaning attempting to avoid notice or attention, typically because of guilt or a belief that discovery would lead to trouble. Attempting to avoid notice or attention, typically because of guilt or a belief that discovery would lead to trouble. He cast a furtive glance at the clock, hoping the meeting would end soon. He cast a furtive glance at the clock, hoping the meeting would end soon. Garrulous. Garrulous, meaning excessively talkative, especially on trivial matters. Excessively talkative, especially on trivial matters. The garrulous old man could talk for hours about his childhood. The garrulous old man could talk for hours about his childhood. Hubris. Hubris, meaning excessive pride or self-confidence. Arrogance. Excessive pride or self-confidence. Arrogance. His hubris led him to underestimate his competitors, resulting in a surprising defeat. His hubris led him to underestimate his competitors, resulting in a surprising defeat. Imbroglio. Imbroglio, meaning an extremely confused, complicated, or embarrassing situation. An extremely confused, complicated, or embarrassing situation. The office imbroglio over the budget led to numerous heated meetings. The office imbroglio over the budget led to numerous heated meetings. Impecunious. Impecunious. Meaning, having little or no money. Having little or no money. The impecunious student struggled to pay for his textbooks. The impecunious student struggled to pay for his textbooks. Insolent. Insolent. Meaning, showing a rude and arrogant lack of respect. Showing a rude and arrogant lack of respect. His insolent behaviour at the dinner table offended everyone. His insolent behaviour at the dinner table offended everyone. Insouciant. Insouciant. Meaning, showing a casual lack of concern. Indifferent. Showing a casual lack of concern. Indifferent. He was insouciant about the risks, brushing them off as inconsequential. He was insouciant about the risks, brushing them off as inconsequential. Inscrutable. Inscrutable. Meaning, impossible to understand or interpret. Impossible to understand or interpret. Her inscrutable expression made it difficult to know what she was thinking. Her inscrutable expression made it difficult to know what she was thinking. Intransigent. Intransigent. Meaning, unwilling or refusing to change one's views or to agree about something. Unwilling or refusing to change one's views or to agree about something. The union was intransigent, refusing to accept any of the management's proposals. The union was intransigent, refusing to accept any of the management's proposals. Inveterate. Inveterate. Meaning, having a particular habit, activity, or interest that is long established and unlikely to change. Having a particular habit, activity, or interest that is long established and unlikely to change. He was an inveterate gambler, often spending his entire wages at the casino. He was an inveterate gambler, often spending his entire wages at the casino. Lugubrious. Lugubrious. Meaning, looking or sounding sad and dismal. Looking or sounding sad and dismal. The lugubrious music set the mood for the sombre occasion. The lugubrious music set the mood for the sombre occasion. Loquacious. Loquacious. Meaning, tending to talk a great deal. Talkative. Tending to talk a great deal. Talkative. The loquacious host kept the conversation lively throughout the evening. The loquacious host kept the conversation lively throughout the evening. Magnanimous. Magnanimous. Meaning, very generous or forgiving, especially towards a rival or someone less powerful. Very generous or forgiving, especially towards a rival or someone less powerful. He was magnanimous in victory, offering his opponent a handshake and words of encouragement. He was magnanimous in victory, offering his opponent a handshake and words of encouragement. Mellifluous. Mellifluous. Meaning, sweet or musical, pleasant to hear. Sweet or musical, pleasant to hear. Her mellifluous voice was soothing and pleasant to listen to. Her mellifluous voice was soothing and pleasant to listen to. Munificent, munificent, meaning more generous than is usual or necessary. More generous than is usual or necessary. The billionaire made a munificent donation to the charity. The billionaire made a munificent donation to the charity. Nefarious, nefarious, meaning wicked or criminal, wicked or criminal. The nefarious activities of the criminal organisation were finally exposed. The nefarious activities of the criminal organisation were finally exposed. Obfuscate, obfuscate, meaning to deliberately make something unclear or difficult to understand. To deliberately make something unclear or difficult to understand. The lawyer's attempt to obfuscate the details only confused the jury further. The lawyer's attempt to obfuscate the details only confused the jury further. Obstreperous, obstreperous, meaning noisy and difficult to control. Noisy and difficult to control. The obstreperous crowd made it difficult for the speaker to be heard. The obstreperous crowd made it difficult for the speaker to be heard. Ostentatious, ostentatious, meaning characterized by vulgar or pretentious display, designed to impress or attract notice. Characterized by vulgar or pretentious display, designed to impress or attract notice. His ostentatious display of wealth was off-putting to many people. His ostentatious display of wealth was off-putting to many people. Panacea, panacea, meaning a solution or remedy for all difficulties or diseases. A solution or remedy for all difficulties or diseases. The new policy was hailed as a panacea for the city's economic woes. The new policy was hailed as a panacea for the city's economic woes. Parsimonious, parsimonious, meaning unwilling to spend money or use resources, stingy or frugal. Unwilling to spend money or use resources, stingy or frugal. The parsimonious old man refused to buy anything that wasn't on sale. The parsimonious old man refused to buy anything that wasn't on sale. Pedantic, pedantic, meaning excessively concerned with minor details or rules, over-scrupulous. Excessively concerned with minor details or rules, over-scrupulous. Her pedantic remarks about grammar slowed down the conversation. Her pedantic remarks about grammar slowed down the conversation. Perfidious, perfidious, meaning deceitful and untrustworthy. Deceitful and untrustworthy. The perfidious betrayal by his closest friend left him heartbroken. The perfidious betrayal by his closest friend left him heartbroken. Peripatetic, peripatetic, meaning travelling from place to place, especially working or based in various places for relatively short periods. Travelling from place to place, especially working or based in various places for relatively short periods. The peripatetic lifestyle of the consultant meant she was rarely home. The peripatetic lifestyle of the consultant meant she was rarely home. Perspicacious. Perspicacious. Meaning, having a ready insight into and understanding of things. Having a ready insight into and understanding of things. Her perspicacious mind quickly grasped the complexities of the situation. Her perspicacious mind quickly grasped the complexities of the situation. Phlegmatic. Phlegmatic. Meaning, having an unemotional and stolidly calm disposition. Having an unemotional and stolidly calm disposition. Even in the face of danger, his phlegmatic demeanour remained unshaken. Even in the face of danger, his phlegmatic demeanour remained unshaken. Prevaricate. Prevaricate. Meaning, to speak or act in an evasive way, to avoid telling the truth by not directly answering a question. To speak or act in an evasive way, to avoid telling the truth by not directly answering a question. When asked about the incident, he seemed to prevaricate rather than give a straight answer. When asked about the incident, he seemed to prevaricate rather than give a straight answer. Quixotic. Quixotic. Meaning, exceedingly idealistic, unrealistic and impractical. Exceedingly idealistic, unrealistic and impractical. His quixotic quest to eliminate poverty was noble but ultimately impractical. His quixotic quest to eliminate poverty was noble but ultimately impractical. Recalcitrant. Recalcitrant. Meaning, having an obstinately uncooperative attitude towards authority or discipline. Having an obstinately uncooperative attitude towards authority or discipline. The recalcitrant student refused to follow the school's rules. The recalcitrant student refused to follow the school's rules. Sagacious. Sagacious. Meaning, having or showing keen mental discernment and good judgment, wise or shrewd. Having or showing keen mental discernment and good judgment, wise or shrewd. The sagacious leader was respected for his wise decisions during difficult times. The sagacious leader was respected for his wise decisions during difficult times. Sycophant. Sycophant. Meaning, a person who acts obsequiously towards someone important in order to gain advantage. A person who acts obsequiously towards someone important in order to gain advantage. The office sycophant constantly flattered the boss in hopes of getting a promotion. The office sycophant constantly flattered the boss in hopes of getting a promotion. Taciturn. Taciturn. Meaning, reserved or uncommunicative in speech, saying little. Reserved or uncommunicative in speech, saying little. The taciturn soldier seldom spoke, preferring to keep his thoughts to himself. The taciturn soldier seldom spoke, preferring to keep his thoughts to himself. Trepidation. Trepidation. meaning a feeling of fear or agitation about something that may happen. A feeling of fear or agitation about something that may happen. With some trepidation, he opened the letter from his employer. With some trepidation, he opened the letter from his employer. Truculent, truculent, meaning eager or quick to argue or fight. Aggressively defiant. Eager or quick to argue or fight. Aggressively defiant. His truculent attitude made it difficult for him to keep friends. His truculent attitude made it difficult for him to keep friends. Ubiquitous, ubiquitous, meaning present, appearing, or found everywhere. Present, appearing, or found everywhere. Smartphones have become ubiquitous in today's society. Smartphones have become ubiquitous in today's society. Vacillate, vacillate, meaning to waver between different opinions or actions. Be indecisive. To waver between different opinions or actions. Be indecisive. She tends to vacillate when making decisions. She tends to vacillate when making decisions. Venerable, venerable, meaning accorded a great deal of respect, especially because of age, wisdom, or character. Accorded a great deal of respect, especially because of age, wisdom, or character. The venerable professor was beloved by generations of students. The venerable professor was beloved by generations of students. Verbose, verbose, meaning using or expressed in more words than are needed. Wordy, using or expressed in more words than are needed. Wordy. His verbose explanation only served to confuse the issue further. His verbose explanation only served to confuse the issue further. Vicissitude, vicissitude, meaning a change of circumstances or fortune, typically one that is unwelcome or unpleasant. A change of circumstances or fortune, typically one that is unwelcome or unpleasant. A single vicissitude in his career changed everything overnight. A single vicissitude in his career changed everything overnight. Vindictive, vindictive, meaning having or showing a strong or unreasoning desire for revenge. Having or showing a strong or unreasoning desire for revenge. His vindictive behaviour after the breakup surprised everyone. His vindictive behaviour after the breakup surprised everyone. Vociferous, vociferous, meaning expressing or characterized by vehement opinions, loud and forceful. Expressing or characterized by vehement opinions, loud and forceful. His vociferous objections were impossible to ignore. His vociferous objections were impossible to ignore.